Starship failed to launch this morning. The IMF has unveiled a global CBDC, which is scary stuff. We will get straight over into CoinGecko here. You can see that the market cap's still holding above 1.3 trillion, which is good, but it is down 1.8%. We will get into Bitcoin and Ethereum chart in a sec. You can see quite a substantial drop in the past 24 hours, and that's pretty much all over the shop as well. There are a couple of green things, no big winners when we're scrolling down through the top 100 here. A little bit of a cool down, not the worst thing in the world. It's actually to be expected, so that's good to see. You can see that we did drop just below 29,500 before finding that support. If we can hold above 29,000, yes, the bull run is still on. Really quickly, this video is not financial advice. Let's keep going. So that's the Bitcoin chart. Heading over to Ethereum here, still above 2,000, even though it is down 2.1% in the past 24 hours. Having a look there, not really a large drop. Nice to see. It looks like it is holding above 20,080 really well. It could come down a little bit more. Obviously, over the next coming weeks, there is a lot of sell pressure still with Ethereum from the Shapella hard fork or the Shanghai hard fork. It is what it is. Arbitrum, we were talking about this at $1.21. It dropped down to $1.15. It's still at $1.64. This is something that I'll be looking at to hold until maybe late 24, early 25, when things really heat up. And there's another one here that's starting to come across my radar. It's up today, DYDX, up 6.7%. It's got a market cap of nearly 500 million here. This is a real interesting one. Holding over $3, may get a little bit of a retest, come back down a little bit. I'll be looking for a good entry and I'll keep you informed there. Going over the heat map here. You can see pretty much red all over. Doge is up. What the hell? Doge is always up. Let's accept the cookies. But red all over the chart. Show you a real quick video, and then we'll get into this global CBDC, which is pretty crazy. But this is the failed launch of Starship this morning. Let's hit play. So, let me pause that. How awesome is that, eh? So, Elon Musk is trolling people here. Do you want me to launch full stack Starship on 420? Why not? 420 has been coming up a lot. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. You will get videos with value. The fast facts of the news. Elon Musk, you are the GOAT. This guy sends bloody rocket ships into space. It's pretty crazy. Alrighty, so the CBDC was not created by the IMF, but a different group, which we'll get into. But it was unveiled at an IMF conference, and it's a new global currency known as Universal Monetary Unit, or Unicoin. So we will get into this. This picture here is actually wrong. This is Unicoin, which is a cryptocurrency, which is for unicorn hunters, which is a show there. Steve Wozniak. So it's not this Unicoin. UMU is a different type of Unicoin. So a new global currency has just launched, but 99% of the global population has no idea what happened. Unicoin is an international central bank digital currency that has been designed to work in conjunction with all existing national currencies. This should set off alarm bells for all of us. Widespread adoption, global currency would be a giant step forward for the globalist agenda. The Digital Currency Monetary Authority, which is DCMA, announced their official launch of an international central bank digital currency. If you've been watching this channel for a while, we all know what CBDCs are. They're scary stuff. at the end of the day. Is legally a money commodity, can transact in any legal tender settlement currency, functions like a CBDC, and it's there to protect the financial integrity of the international banking market. That's a very scary statement because it's the banks that are causing the problem, but I digress. The DCMA is a world leader in the advocacy of digital currency and monetary policy innovations for governments and central banks. Unicoin, Universal Monetary Unit is Crypto 2.0. Your financial privileges, and this is where it gets scary, could potentially be restricted at any time at the whim of a government bureaucrat. And if you are a big enough troublemaker, you could be deplatformed from the system permanently. For such a system to have real teeth, cash and other forms of payment will need to be phased out. And that is precisely what is happening right now in Europe. So everyone will slowly but surely be forced onto the new digital system, and it will be a system that they control with an iron fist. Gets scarier. Most Americans simply do not care that these new digital currencies could open the door for great tyranny. Concentrating even more power in the hands of the international elite is always a bad idea. 100% I agree with that. Very scary stuff. And they are coming. We can't help that. With the CBDC, the globalist agenda, I am reading Klaus Schwab's book, The Great Reset. Very scary stuff there as well. That guy's a madman. And I'll do a breakdown on that video as well. So do hit the subscribe button. Say hi in the comments while you are there. But how you can protect yourself is not financial advice. Let's bring it back up. Either Bitcoin, Ethereum, DeFi, gold, silver. Take control of your funds there. So this is the Digital Pound Foundation, and there's just a couple of statements here. The legislation proposes UMU to be enacted as a complementary money commodity for the store of value, mitigating against potential seasonal and systemic local currency depreciation intended as a payment currency at the time of settlement. UMU is cryptocurrency reimagined. These guys are clever, and girls. From the ground up to support central banking and regulated financial institutions, a trusted consensus protocol, staked proof of trust. There is AI built into this as well, so I'll link this article for you to read in the description there. So UMU as Crypto 2.0 because it innovates a new wave of cryptographic technologies. They're selling it as crypto for realizing a digital currency public monetary system with a widespread adoption framework encompassing use cases for all constituencies in a global economy. A lot of people were thinking that Ripple would be the world reserve CBDC cross-border payments, and it may still be because they are working hard to win the race for global CBDC infrastructure development. They are already working with 20 global central banks to develop interoperable and functional CBDC. Notably, Ripple has dedicated a private version of XRPL to facilitate CBDC and stablecoin development. So we'll see who wins the race there. Either way, I can see XRP doing fine as the bull run really heats up. And yes, my opinion is we are at the start of the bull run, but probably in the disbelief phase where it goes down before we start trending up. And it's going to be a slow journey, and it's going to be a rocky journey. And I can definitely see Papa Powell raising interest rates at least 25 basis points next meeting as well. So jumping over, just talking about Bitcoin really quickly. Obviously, we saw it sunk below 30K. The dollar has jumped. Mixed Q1 earnings. Bitcoin dropped as low as 29,292 on Monday before slightly rebounding. The surge from 28 last week was largely untested. The large cryptocurrency by market capitalization was recently trading around 29.5. Bitcoin began sinking on Sunday. Encouraged by mildly upbeat inflation data last week, investors sent Bitcoin's price to the moon, to over 30,000 for the first time since last June. So with that, we did move up very quick and very fast. But it has to come back down for it to continue to go up in a safe way. So even though it breached 30k, the price was likely to look for support on the downside and potentially consolidate before another leg up. What the bulls will want to see is a strong bounce from between the 28,000 and 29,000 range and a reclaim of 30,000 in the coming days. Be great if it happens this week or early next week as well. This analyst said it could decline to 23,000 before rebounding. My opinion, and it's definitely just my opinion, but it'd be like 24.4 or 25.6. I think would be a really great level of support around there. 23,000. It's really going to take a long time for it to grind back up, but it will. What goes up must come down, and vice versa. This is Cathie Wood over here on Cointelegraph. Cathie Wood's amazing. If you haven't listened to what she has to say, this lady is so intelligent, incredible, so great to see in the space. Recent turmoil in the banking sector has shown that Bitcoin and ETH can withstand a shaky economy, outperform other asset classes and function like gold, says ARK Invest Cathie Wood. But one long-time investor, I believe that's Ray Dalio, is not sold. Wood said in an April 15 interview that Bitcoin's resilience throughout the most recent banking crisis has been the most remarkable of all indicators her tech-focused investment management firm is monitoring. Goes on to say they're going to disrupt the traditional world order. What are Bitcoin and ETH doing? I mean, by the very fact that they're being considered flight to safety like gold, that's really interesting and suggests much broader based adoption and acceptance than I think most people understand. Cathie Wood, you're absolutely incredible. She does think cryptocurrency will eventually become an election issue when the sector becomes more broadly accepted and the public can more clearly see the kinds of regulatory pressure that the US government is applying on the industry to maintain centralized control of money and monetary policy. Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, the world's largest hedge fund, said in an April 12 interview that Bitcoin could not serve as an effective currency because it is too volatile and central banks won't adopt it. Then he goes on to say, Bitcoin is neither an effective store hold of wealth or a medium of exchange, so it is not an effective currency. It has a volatility to it that has no relation to practically anything. It's a very, very poor alternative to gold. Ray Dalio, I respect immensely. And I guess it's, for me, the way that I justify it is when we look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett also dislikes Bitcoin, and maybe that's the demographic and their investing thesis that's formed that opinion. It's a very well-informed opinion on that. So I don't discredit them. I like both those people and respect them immensely. But in a digital economy, digital gold absolutely makes sense. Yes, it is still the whole cryptocurrency market cap. I'll just bring it up here. It's just over 1.3 trillion. And scroll all the way back up to the top. Gold's at like $10 trillion. So it is going to be a slow grind before that volatility is removed, and that's where the risk to reward comes in. Huge amount of upside, and there's probably more upside now than there has been at the start. More upside ahead of us than behind us is a great way to bring that up. So I'll flip back over to Ray Dalio. They can outlaw Bitcoin, they can regulate it. Central banks and countries pretty much don't want it anyway, he said, adding that it gets attention way out of proportion to its size. It gets attention because they are scared, they see the potential, and the US is trying to go very hard and regulate it very heavily. In Australia, we class it as a commodity, makes it easy. The tax can be very expensive sometimes as well, but it's treated like property here. And it is what it is. So we'll flip over to why governments are pushing for Bitcoin to be a commodity. Like I said, that's already happened here in Australia. Governments around the world have started to push for Bitcoin to be classified as a commodity rather than a currency. Why are they doing this? By classifying Bitcoin as a commodity, governments are effectively limiting its potential as a currency, which only reinforces the existing system of government-issued money. Definitely a hot button issue there. Classifying Bitcoin as a commodity is that it is subject to price manipulation, just like other commodities such as gold and oil. I actually don't disagree with that. It is important to note that Bitcoin supply is completely transparent with its distribution recorded in a public ledger. So that's how it's a little bit different. By classifying Bitcoin as a commodity, it will help to protect consumers from fraud and other illegal activities. Then they go on, by bringing Bitcoin into the regulatory framework, governments may be able to reduce the risk of fraud and other illegal activities, but they also risk stifling innovation and limiting the potential of the crypto. So it is largely motivated by their desire to maintain control over their economics. By subjecting Bitcoin to heavy taxes, regulations, and price manipulation, they hope to limit its potential as a currency and reinforce the existing system of government-issued money. For me, when I read that, I want to just keep stacking those sats. That's what I'll be doing. You need to do you. We'll flip over here. This is a really, really good article talking about why blockchains need to be interoperable and have something like TCP/IP, which is used on the internet. Otherwise, it's all these blockchains, they're just floating around in space and they're not really talking to each other. Obviously, Chainlink Labs sort of has a price oracle solution for this. And then to realize a fully interoperable blockchain ecosystem at scale, there needs to be an open communication standard like TCP/IP, which currently serves as the internet's de facto connection protocol. Need a similar standard for blockchain networks, and that's there to pave the way for a seamless internet-like experience, but that's what's really going to allow Web 2 to come onto Web 3. So what they're going to say is when this happens, and to bring Web 2 onto Web 3, they are going to have to tick off the KYC process and all that, which is, it's good and bad. It sort of takes away a little bit of the DeFi aspect, but if it's a centralized on-ramp and it pumps the market up, and that's the process we need to go through to make money in the short term, that's okay with me. It is what it is. It's a little bit hard to change that. Together collectively, obviously, we can rally for that, but the most important thing that I believe that we can do before they get so centralized, because blockchain is the future, this technology. That's what I've been speaking about it every day for the last couple of years. Not always on the computer, but every day since 2019, I've gone deep into this. Then we just need to have something outside the system. For me, that's Bitcoin. For you, that may be gold or silver. Maybe it's diamonds. Then on Aave here, they did a proposal to launch on zkevm, passes a temperature check. What was surprising here is more than 99% of Aave token holders voted in favor of launching the third version of the lending and borrowing protocol on the zero-knowledge Ethereum virtual machine. So now that this has happened, there will be another vote as well to go through before it is. Where was that? May have been another article. If I can find that article as well, there's still another step before this is implemented. But it's a good step in the right direction there as well. At the end of the day, crypto, DeFi, Web3, NFTs, we are very early. There are a lot of shitcoins out there. You do need to be careful. Obviously, for me, Bitcoin's the least amount of risk, followed by Ethereum. And then there's some really interesting things, and I'll show you what I'm interested in as we go on this journey. So do hit subscribe. Have a very beautiful day. They're the fast facts. Be blessed. Peace.